Hey everyone, and welcome back to my prediction series. If you forgot what happened last time, we went over episodes 19 to 26, and along with that, we've hit the final 19, which means we are really reaching towards the end of the competition. If you haven't watched the previous parts, then you should definitely do so. Today in part 4, we'll go over episodes 27 to 34, which will have the final merge and hitting the final 10. As always, here's the elimination order so far, with Dioptase in last, to Meatball being the most recently eliminated. And here's all the contestants on their current teams and how many are still in the running. Without any more waiting, let's start with... This is the final episode of the prediction that will be using the first merged teams, and the two first merged teams up for extermination today are the Happy Meat Savers and Bleh. Tomater is still a fan favorite as of now despite his arc being over, so he is first safe. B-Block flips between being in the bottom 2 or the first few safe, but she'll be in the latter today as she's second safe. Season 17 will also be staying out of the bottom 2 today, which means our bottom 2 is Dew and Eye Patch. Dew has kind of fallen off at this point despite showing many times what abilities they have by now, and Eye Patch is still a really lovable character, but I think people will not want to rejoin her to make it much further, and the rejoiner novelty has completely worn off of Eye Patch a few episodes back, so it's for these reasons why I think Eye Patch, the first rejoiner, will be unfortunately out this time. He should be happy though that he came back and got a better placement than most of the cast this season instead of placing in the bottom 5. For the final first merge team elimination, Doorstopper is the first safe for many reasons as Tomater, and Acid is second. Notepad has definitely pulled many episode 3s by now, so they'll still stay quite liked, which is why they are the third safe. The whole deal behind Yoshi is starting to not appeal to many people anymore, but even so, she'll stay out of the bottom 2 for today. The bottom 2 is Doorframe and Nebula Void. Doorframe still has a tiny bit of the rejoiner novelty left, but still isn't nearly as liked as other rejoiners like Eye Patch, and Nebula Void is good to most people, but just can't really compete with the first 4 safe on their team. So who will be leaving? The first eliminated, or the Space Cat? Well, I think Nebula Void will survive this, is what I would say given that there would be nothing special about this elimination like most eliminations, but I think Animatic will pull a last minute surprise double elimination 1 episode before the merge. I know many will disagree, but I think it would happen throughout the show, and what better time to do it right before the next stage of the game. So this means both Doorframe and Nebula Void will be leaving today, which also means both rejoiners and a cat leave in the same episode. I know many of you will not agree with this choice, so let me know what you think in the comments. This episode will mark the final merge that will still have teams, and will also mark the beginning of only one contestant being eliminated in an episode. You might be thinking again, Marlee, how will you do the merge? Well, it's simple, as it will happen the same way as last time. Once again, I'll randomize the 16 remaining players left into 2 groups, and whatever group they're assigned to, that's what team they're on. So let's just click the button here, and there you have it. You're looking at the new future teams. Going off the randomizer, Team 1 will include Doorstopper, P, exclamation mark, Kane's Cup, Acid, Yoshi Egg, Nonagon, and Demon Core. Team 2 will include Tomater, B-Block, Jedge, Cheez-It, Notepad, Season 17, Dew, and Weathery. Team 1 will be called the Happy Smile Club because every character on that team except P and sometimes Acid are generally happy and wholesome characters. And Team 2 is called Object Chaos because there are a few chaotic and mischief causing members on there like B-Block and Cheez-It. The team losing today though is going to be the Happy Smile Club, so let's get into it. The first few safe are easy to figure it out. Acid is first, Doorstopper is second, exclamation third, and Kane's Cup fourth. He is 5th safe and Nonagon is 6th safe despite being safe incredibly late but still stays out of the bottom 2. Yoshi Egg and Demon Core are the bottom 2 for today. As I said with the last episode, Yoshi Egg's cuteness is starting to wear off on most people by now, and Demon Core just isn't as interested anymore and especially can't keep up with the rest of his team considering how loved they are. So I think the first one to leave today on the new teams is sadly Demon Core. It does suck because I know many love him, but I'm curious as to whether he'll even be exterminated in the first place, seeing that he's a literal world-shattering bomb. You're going to be seeing a bit of a back and forth pattern, seeing that there's only 2 teams now because Object Chaos will be losing today. I don't have anything else to say, so let's just get started. I think Jedge of all people will try to take leadership with their new team, as their new personality they got almost 30 episodes ago might make him want to become a better leader, so I think it's for these reasons they're the first safe. Tomato, Notepad, and Weathery all follow. Cheez-It has lost loads of voters by now because they're just done with his craziness, but still has a good chunk of fans, so he's safe 5th. And B-Block is 6th safe as well, and will stay out of the bottom 2 for today. Season 17 and Do are in danger today. Both aren't strangers to the bottom 2 as well. 17 is incredibly overrated to fans by now, and people are just preying on his downfall at this point, and like last time, Do is here simply because they just aren't as interesting compared to everyone else left despite being an entity. However, I still think that Season 17 will be able to last a bit longer in this competition, leaving Do to be the first one out on Object Chaos. This also means every entity in the battle has been eliminated. For now. Let's make the Happy Smile Club lose again because of the pattern mentioned earlier. This is going to be quite a quick elimination as the safe order is almost parallel to the last time they lost, with just a few spots being swapped. This means Doorstopper, Acid, P, Kane's Cup, and Exclamation Mark are all safe. Nonagon and Yoshig are in the bottom 2. Nonagon is probably even more overrated than Season 17, and people are really starting to dislike them simply because of how long they've been able to glide flawlessly through the competition, which will cause Nonagon to lose voters slowly. This has also been the reason as to why they were safe incredibly late in their last elimination. Yoshig has been in the bottom 2 a few times now because I have said this a few times now, but the whole appeal and whatnot around here is starting to wear off to voters. But I actually think Nonagon will lose enough voters to be out in this episode. Who would have thought? One of the most beloved characters in the entire series doesn't even make it to the final 10. I still think Nonagon would be impressed with their placement though. The back and forth pattern continues as Object Chaos loses again. No pun intended, but Weathery has always been kind of floating around the competition recently, so I think that they'll get development in a way which they'll form in an unlikely duo with Cheez-It because I think Weathery will appreciate especially how happy he is all the time, and his energy compared to Weathery's calm nature could create for some great moments, so they're safe first. We can't forget about Jedge and Tomato though because the two of them are safe 2nd and 3rd respectively, and Cheez-It's duo with Weathery will garner him a bit more voters this time so he's safe 4th, and Notepad is safe 5th. Our bottom 2 for today is Season 17 yet again, and B-Block. Season 17 is starting to become the new Shifty with how many times he's been in the bottom 2, and B-Block's development she got all those episodes back will help her out, but just won't be enough to guarantee safety. So for that, I think out of the 2 meatballers in the bottom 2, 17 will be safe yet again, and B-Block's mischievousness will finally come to an end. It's going to be a lot less chaotic without her, sadly. The pattern will not be continuing this episode, as Object Chaos will lose 2 times in a row. Weathery's the first safe again because of the duo that they have with Cheez-It, and Jedge is 2nd. I think Cheez-It will get even more voters than last elimination, which will make him get the bronze medal for safety. Lastly, Tomato has started to lose his voter base, but will still be out of the bottom 2. The bottom 2 is Season 17 twice in a row now, and Notepad. Like I said a multitude of times, people are really starting to hate on 17 now because he's incredibly overrated, and Notepad is still quite liked, but they're either really relevant in an episode like episode 3, or just don't do anything at all like in episode 2. But I think that finally, Season 17's bottom 2 run and journey in the competition will be stopping today, because of just how many voters he's lost for being overrated. And just like that, every member on Team Happy Meatball has been eliminated, ranking them in last place in terms of placement of each member on said team. Object Chaos's losing streak will be ending today, as a Happy Smile Club will be losing. Yeah, just by looking who's left, it's kinda clear who's leaving, so don't be surprised if this is the shortest segment in the video. Anyway, P first, Exclamation 2nd, Doorstopper 3rd, and Kane's Cup 4th. The bottom 2 was Acid and Yoshi-Egg. Acid isn't really here for any reason, I just needed someone to join Yoshi-Egg who is here for an actual reason, explained many times. Yeah, it's incredibly obvious Yoshi-Egg is out here. I don't have much else to say, so just enjoy the music you guys love. This episode marks the final 10 of the season, and anyone eliminated beyond this point should be incredibly satisfied with how they performed this season. And for the final episode today, we'll have Object Chaos lose one more time, so let's see who will not be hitting the final 9. Jedge being a good leader throughout these past few episodes has really made them all the more likable, so they are first safe, and Weathery is second safe for their duo with Cheez-It, who speaking of, is also safe too. Our final bottom 2 for today is Tomato and Notepad. Tomato has been pushed down to the bottom 2 because the hype for him due to his arc a long time ago has fully died down by now, and Notepad getting votes is really all dependent on what they do in an episode, so it's kind of 50-50 as to whether they'll be good or not. However, I believe that fans will want to keep Notepad in for just a little while longer, which means Tomato is the first one out in the final 10, and is the final member of the Happy Meatville team to go, which will place them in 7th for performance in terms of how good each member placed. As always, here's an overview of what we went over today. Here's the extermination order I have in the prediction, with Dioptase in last, to Tomato being the most recently eliminated in 10th place. And here's a look at all 9 contestants still in the running. Thanks for watching part 4 of my prediction series. Part 5 will not only have the last rejoin, but will also be the finale. By just looking at who's left, anyone could win it all, so stay tuned to find out who I think will be the winner.